Hey, it's Benji Cole, son of Al Cole from CBS Radio and host of the syndicated talk show, People of Distinction. The talk that gives you an in-depth view of some of the most dynamic, intelligent, and successful people on the planet. Run to our website, alcoleenterprises.com for more info. Email me through benji@alcoleenterprises.com if you'd like to get involved with what we have going. And as always, please continue to like and follow our broadcasts. People of Distinction is internationally syndicated solely due to the love and support that you all continue to give. We're available across all major distributors, and as long as you keep following, we're going to continue to put out the content. Now sit back and strap in, because on the line with us today, we have Dr. Gloria Akinniyi. Now we're going to be discussing her incredible book, Young Hearts, Kingdom Builders. Be inspired by the bold faith of the early church. This is book 5 out of a 5-part series. The other 4 are just as impactful. Now, we might not be getting to them today, but you need to head on over to Amazon and purchase your copies, because these are fantastic gifts for your children, and wonderful gifts even for my parents out there as well, man, because your kids are going to learn. They're not even going to realize they're doing so. It's going to be a fun journey for them, and you get to sit back and understand that this is all good, clean stuff. And unfortunately, it feels like that's in a limited supply nowadays. So remember, the anchor for today, Young Hearts, Kingdom Builders. But there are 4 other ones that you're going to want to get your hands on as well. Now, before I go any further, I want to quickly take this opportunity and point out the fact that she was brought to us by Author Reputation Press. So for the writers out there listening in who have gone through their process and now you find yourself at a difficult position because you worked so hard to create this book and now you need assistance moving it. Well, head on over to authorreputationpress.com and gather all the ways that their fantastic team is more than equipped to help you do just that. And listen, it is an absolute pleasure to have Dr. Akinniyi here on the line. Man, listen, there's a moment right after you close the book when the story is done, but the questions have just begun. And that's exactly where we're going to begin, right? Because Dr. Akinniyi, she writes specifically for that sacred quiet space. This is a final volume in a series that somehow manages to translate shipwrecks and miracles and the radical community of the early church into bedtime language for the smallest believers. This is going to be one I promise you are not going to be able to put down, and it's done in a beautiful way. We are exploring what it means to be a kingdom builder before you've even learned to tie your shoes. Get ready for a conversation about faith, about art, and the holy ground of bedtime. I'm looking forward to this one. Let's get it started. Dr. Akinniyi, welcome to People of Distinction, and thank you again for being a guest. How are you doing today?
I'm fine. Thank you very much.
It is a pleasure to have you here, Dr. Akinniyi. What you have done, I think, is beautiful. To portray the stories from the Bible. Some of them larger than life. Some of them, man, I don't know. I remember reading the Bible myself, especially the Old Testament, and seeing some of the things written in there. And I'm like, my goodness. Even for my adult brain, I was looking at it like, this might be a little inappropriate. To have something translated and made to be a magnificent story for children is so beneficial. So we're looking forward to embarking upon the journey here with you. Before we go into the book, start off by giving us a little bit more of a background on you.
My name is Gloria Akinniyi. I am a seasoned educator and scholar with extensive experience in teaching, research, and teacher development across the United States and Nigeria. I hold a Bachelor of Science degree from the University of Lagos, Nigeria, and I earned my master's and PhD in educational administration with a minor in counseling psychology from the University of Wisconsin-Madison. I taught at Carthage University and the University of Wisconsin-Parkside, both in Wisconsin, and later worked at Longfellow Career Exploration Academy in Texas, where I earned the prestigious National Board for Professional Teaching Standards certification. It's awarded to only 3% of American teachers, and they are called accomplished teachers. After retiring and returning to Nigeria, I served as an educational consultant and researcher, including conducting field studies for UNICEF, a part of the United Nations. I have published in peer-reviewed journals, and I am the author of these 5 Bible-based children's books that are available in Amazon. Now, my personal life, I am a mother of 6 children, grown, and grandmother of 11 at the moment, so more will come. I enjoy serving God, supporting my family, and inspiring the next generation through writing and ministry. Thank you.
Well, listen, I'm going to go here to inspiration next, although I think it's probably safe to assume, given your background and, given your particular interests, but I'm going to ask you anyway. Dr. Akinniyi, what sparked this journey, right? Listen, you didn't write just one book. I mentioned it before. You got 5 of them things right now. What inspired this journey?
Thank you very much. I said earlier that I have 6 children. There are 3 boys and 3 girls. And my 3 girls are all married, and they're all over the States. I visit them to help them even when they're pregnant, when they have the baby and raising the children. So that was my job after I retired. Now, when I visited my second daughter, she has 4 children because she has twin boys. And both parents are medical doctors, so they're always busy. They have tons of books in their house. And these children always want me to read to them. I will search and search for books that have value in them, and I will not find. On one of these occasions, while I was searching, looking for any book that will instill value in these children, I had a prompting in my spirit that says, why don't you write one? This thought kept going and going, and I tell you, that's why I decided to write this Young Heart series for my grandchildren and for the generation in which they are and generations to come. So briefly, that was what inspired me to start writing children's books.
We're so glad that you did, because now we get this amazing compilation of work. Let's jump right in now. Young Hearts, Kingdom Builders, be inspired by the bold faith of the early church. Tell us a little bit more about it.
Yeah, after writing these 4 books, remember my motive is for the children to have value instilled in them. The book 5, Young Hearts, Kingdom Builders, started with the Pentecost, the coming of the Holy Spirit. The big lesson is that God sent the Holy Spirit to give us power to love, to be bold, and to share Jesus and be his kingdom builder. So the kingdom challenge was that as a friend of Jesus, you have power to share God's love too. You can join the apostles to build God's kingdom, and you are never too young to do that. Next title, after talking about the Pentecost, was The Healing of the Lame Man by Peter and Paul. Kingdom builders like the children need to know that without money, they can encourage someone in a way that shows God's love, maybe with kind words, prayer, or often a helping hand. We can be like Peter and Paul. Courage comes from the Holy Spirit. I am a kingdom builder because I can be bold in faith, give glory to Jesus, and share his love with courage. Children learn to ask God for little things like, Lord, show me someone to encourage today. They learn that the power is from Jesus, not the apostles. God can also choose his children of your age to tell others about Jesus. When you obey God and share his love, you help in building his kingdom.
Listen, it's packed with so much information. It's Amazon. But also remember, this is book 5 in a 5-part series. There are 4 earlier editions covering a variety of information that you're going to want to get your hands on. Head on over there, pick up your copies today. Dr. Akinniyi, I'm curious to know, I love what you've comprised, but I also know that it probably wasn't a very easy journey. When you're creating and you're writing this book, there were, I'm sure, some hurdles that you had to overcome. And one in particular, like you mentioned Paul a little while ago, and I think it's a really interesting duality here, and I want you to talk to us a little bit, right? Because, listen, the book of Acts has shipwrecks, as I mentioned, jailbreaks, even martyrdom.
Mm-hmm.
When you're writing for a child, let's say up to about 10 years old for the audience, you may have a different regard in terms of the age group, but you're telling a very young age group about Stephen or about Paul's imprisonment. Where is the line between bold faith and potential bedtime anxiety? Like, how did you edit the narrative to preserve the power of the story without causing the fear?
That was my initial problem. I said, God, must tell you, I prayed about it. I changed certain words that I used in the book. For example, in my first book where I talked about Cain and Abel, I didn't say Cain killed Abel. I said Cain hurt his brother Abel, just to mellow down so it won't be traumatic for the children.
Yeah.
I was very careful to pick words, and the stories are short on purpose because their attention span is not that much as the adults. So each story is brief, and then it follows certain things that they have to do, like instead of saying questions. As an educator, I know that children get scared, like when you say, we have to answer this question. So what I said was, let's talk about it. So children can answer these questions without knowing they're answering questions. They will talk about it with you. It's really interesting that God guided me into what they have to do. So there are so many things that I had to do to accommodate all the children and give them understanding of what they are reading.
Yeah, listen, Dr. Akinniyi, there are a lot of ways we can continue this discussion. There are a lot of questions that I can continue to ask, but people, you already know what you got to do. I mentioned it before. You got to purchase your copies, okay? But as we start to close out, the Whispers to My Heart section in your book is a listening guide, right? Well, I think what's interesting, in a world of constant noise, in a world of instant gratification, what does it look like to teach a child to sit in silence and expect God to speak? Like, what if they say, I didn't hear anything? Like, what's the next page in that guide say?
Actually, we kind of underestimate children. We underestimate what they can do and what they cannot do. In fact, after we Whispers to My Heart, my God sign, they can think of what they have learned from the story. That's part of what God is telling them. And as they continue processing, they learn more. I'm surprised at the 6-year-old. I'm in one of my daughter's house now in California, and her 6-year-old is so smart, asking questions. You won't imagine the type of questions that he asks. We would have thought that this child, he doesn't know anything, yet he knows. He asked me, why didn't God accept Cain's offering but accepted Abel? I said, why do you ask that question? He said, because they all gave what they had. Abel had animals, Cain had things from the farm. I had to think and brought in the fact that God sees the heart of every man. And because God knows what Cain was thinking about, he knew he wasn't giving with the right heart. Whereas Abel chose the best to give to God. And he was satisfied and knew that whenever he's giving something to God, he should give the best.
People, listen, the journey has just begun. you got to head on over to Amazon. Purchase your copies of Young Heart's Kingdom Builders today. Remember, there are 4 other books in this series, and hopefully a lot more in the future. The work of the early church didn't end 2,000 years ago, okay? I mean, it's going to continue tonight, probably in a pajama-clad living room near you with a book like this open across 2 laps. You pick up the book at Amazon, sit back, and just enjoy it with your little theologians that you have in your life. Go build something beautiful, man. This is going to be a fantastic journey. We're looking forward to the comments that people are going to leave with this one. The journey starts here. Dr. Akinniyi, this has been an absolute pleasure. Such an honor. I really do mean that. Thank you once again for being a guest on People of Distinction.
You are wonderful. Have a great day and God bless you.